I don't know. I know the setup is different. I kind of like it. I mean, I feel more relaxed.
Elise! Elise!
Elise. Yeah.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode. So I wanted to talk about my depression era. Kind of a okay. I'm gonna have a playlist talking about my lore because I don't know. I don't have a lot of lore, but like kind of do. I don't know. I didn't have a rough childhood. I really didn't. Actually, I had a fun childhood. And I definitely want to talk about my childhood, but um, let me not take. Let me not get too comfortable. But yeah, I wanted to talk about my depression era because like it kind of adds to my lore a little bit. I don't know. And also, if anybody's watching that I went to high school with, like you'll know why I was the way I was now once I talk about depression era part 1. Cuz spoiler alert, I'm in depression era part 2. You wouldn't tell. You wouldn't be able to tell because I've actually been masking it a lot better this time. So I want to preface there's some context needed. Okay, so in middle school, going into high school, I really wanted like a lot of friends. Like I had friends, but like not people that I was close to. So I listen. I was like really unrealistic with this. I wanted to have so many friends. Like I wanted to be popular. That was my I guess dream. Basically, in high school, I was in the International Baccalaureate program. So at my high school, we had to take honors classes for freshman and sophomore year before we actually take the IB classes. And like you had to take like all IB classes, I think. I don't know. I quit after sophomore year. So I wasn't used to taking all honors classes. I was used to being in, I guess, the regular classes, passing with straight A's. I was a good student until high school. So freshman year, I wanted to make friends and I couldn't do it. Like I was so overwhelmed. And it's crazy because like I went to high school with a lot of people that I went to middle school with, and I still struggled to make friends, which was weird. And the worst part about it was my best friend, she wasn't taking honors classes, so we only ate lunch together. Um so like that's the only time we would like connect at all. But the other thing was she was also depressed during that time. So like we were both just like at lunch, depressed, sad, listening to our sad music and just eating. Freshman year, I was taking honors classes. Like it was all core classes. None of the electives were like that we had to take for honors. I would compare myself a lot. Cause like I'd be hearing my classmates talk about, oh, I got a B minus on this assignment. I got a C plus. I'm over here with a D. I almost just failed this assignment and you're complaining about a B. So back to how the depression started. So I mainly like I was comparing myself a lot and that kind of threw me down academically. And then of course like not being able to like meet new people and like make new connections with people. I was like, okay, high school is great. We love high school. It was kind of getting better sophomore year because I was in like the pre-IB program. I had a lot of the core classes with the same people from the previous year. So like I was starting to, open up a little bit, come out of my shell, and then guess what happened? So it was spring break. Hey guys, spring break's getting extended. And then all of a sudden, there's a global emergency.
COVID-19!
The rest of the year spent it online, and then sophomore year, or no, junior year. So we had the option to, I guess, like, okay, so certain letters could, okay, so like if your last name was like A through G, you go to school on like Monday, Wednesday, or you could just stay online completely. And then like H, G, E, F, G, H, yeah, H through Z, they go on like Tuesday and Thursday, or like something like that. I just stayed online because, of course, introverted me, like, why would I want to go outside? Like, I did not leave my house for weeks at a time. So nobody was seeing me. But that was also like really bad for my mental health because, like, as if you couldn't possibly pick the worst decision to make yourself feel more lonelier, and you chose to stay at home. And I felt like that would have been prime time to make connections because nobody was going to school. Like, barely anybody was going to school. I could have made connections. I could have been happy. But no, I decided to not be happy and stay home and feel miserable about myself and gain freaking 20 pounds. And I didn't realize that I had gained so much weight until after I graduated. I'm like, why is my face so ugh? Now, luckily, I'm like, I would say I'm about like 10 pounds less than I was. I'm still a little, still got a little pudge or whatever. Yeah, like I wouldn't leave the house for weeks at a time. And like I would cry to my listen, the notes during that time, crying every week, crying every night. Spring semester comes by and they're like, hey, okay, so you have the option of either going in person fully or online fully. And so I chose online because I was too afraid to go back in person. I don't know. Like not like health, well, actually kind of partially like health wise. Like I'm not I could have gone. I could have gone like I'm yeah, I could have gone, but I just chose not to. That was not a good decision for my mental health because it tanked. So senior year came by and everybody was back in person. Nobody was online. By that point, I was like, I'm over this year. I'm over it. I'm over it. I remember there was one day, I was trying to find the picture the other day and I can't find it. I don't know if it's still in my phone, but I had this picture of me crying. So the story behind that, I posted on my story, and it was basically like an open invite to my graduation party. I posted, I'm like, hey, respond if you want to come to my graduation party. And like I had like a lot of mutuals from like high school, from middle school. So I expected like at least a couple people to be like, yeah, I'll come to your graduation party. Nobody replied. Nobody replied. Obviously, like I was crying. I took a picture of myself crying. So I felt like really crappy about it. But like, I was like, nobody responded. Nobody responded. And like that like really solidified me for me. I made no connections in high school, and like I have all these mutuals that like don't really care about me. Like they're just like here. Of course my best friend went. She went. She was there. She was there. And then I also had another friend, but like I don't think she really asked to go. I think I asked her. But like I don't know, it was like a good friend. Like we weren't like super close. And then another friend, she wanted the invite. Like she asked to go and she didn't go. Later on, like in May, it was the last day of school. And we were out on the football field, like all the seniors. I think there was like some award thing or something. And I remember sitting there like I like have barely I wasn't in any clubs. I quit the IB program after sophomore year, so I was just like I barely even took honors, or I barely even took AP. I took two AP classes, didn't even dual enroll. But yeah, I remember like looking at that field and like I was like, that was the moment I completely regretted my high school experience because I saw like all like the people that I knew like from classes like with their people, and I was just like, dang, like that could have been me. Like my peers, like there was one girl like she was doing sports, she was in honors, she had like internships lined up, she had a boyfriend, like she had everything. Seeing people like have, I guess like they had the high school experience they wanted and I didn't. And I was like, dang, like that could have been me. But it wasn't. So, whatever. I actually like I did end up going on a date like a week after the last day because I was like, I need to make something of my high school experience. So I didn't really, like, I didn't have feelings for this person. I just thought they were cute. But I was like, hey, you trying to go out? Trying to get to know each other? But yeah, I ended up going on a date. It was okay, but they got back with their ex. So I was like, okay, all right. And they cut me off, like in the most polite way possible. Which, why couldn't I have that? Like because I told them that like I like communication. Like I'm really big on communication, and they're like, yeah. So I know like that you're big on communication, and I just wanted to let you know I'm getting back with my ex. So this is the last time you're gonna hear from me. Basically, like to sum it up, I was like, I can't even be mad. Like, I can't even be mad. But I graduated and there is just a weight lifted off my shoulders. I was like, finally, high school's over. No more depression. Depression actually like disappeared. I don't, where'd it go? I don't see it anywhere. So that summer, like going into college, I was in such a weird space because like I was getting over my depression. Like I wasn't crying. Like I hadn't cried that whole summer. Not even over that date. Like I wasn't crying, I wasn't emotional. I was just kind of like in a weird space. So I went to therapy, was in therapy for a couple months. It kind of that therapy helped me with my anxiety too cuz my anxiety has like I barely gotten there. It helped me with my anxiety and just kind of understanding like where my depression came from and how to move forward. And low key almost feels in vain cuz I am back here. Depression part 2. I don't know. I'm kind of hesitant to post depression part 2 because it's revolved around a situation and revolved around a person, and it's a whole thing cuz that's an episode that is true lore. That is true lore because that like I'm a changed person after that. But yeah, anyway, back to depression era part 1 though. After that, before I entered depression era part 2, I was for a while I was in a weird space because like I still wasn't like 100% happy, but I also wasn't crying myself to sleep every so often. And so I was just kind of existing. And it was so weird. Like I was just like I felt like an NPC low key. Like I had I was working retail. I was doing doing work study too. I was just there existing. So yeah, that's kind of that's lore on my depression era. I will say like I don't regret doing the things I did. And I will say I let me make this clear. I never tried to do anything. I thought about it a lot, but I never tried to do anything. But there were a lot of moments where, I was like, Actually, I think now I think about it in more detail than I did before, if I'm being honest. I don't know. Back then, it was very passive. It's still very passive, but it's also like more detailed passive. Like, what if I just like, just, I don't know. Depression era part 2 is definitely more character building, but like Depression era part 1, it just happened. I just happened to be a depressed teenager. And what's worse about it is that like that was also the time where I was like kind of figuring out like religion sort of. So like I really don't know if the people that like the church I used to go to, I don't know if they knew that I was depressed. I feel like if anybody's like watching this from church, I feel like they're gonna be like, oh, that's what was wrong with her. So that's all for today's episode. The next episode will be Depression Era Part 2, which is the current Depression era. Oh, also, I don't know if I kind of like this setup, but I kind of don't. It's kind of great. I like the messiness of my room. But I don't know. Let me know in the comments if which setup do you prefer? I know what you guys probably might say. I don't know. Y'all talk in the comments. Talk in the comments. I will respond. I will. It might not be serious, but I will respond. Comment if you're seeing this right now. Comment the most chaotic thing you could possibly say. please, for my sanity, so I can like laugh at it and be so confused. Okay, that's all for today's episode because my camera is freaking overheating once again.